Hello there, folks. You get to watch me put this package up while I tell you this story, but I had a very strange experience at a McDonald's. We went to the Soda City convention, and while we were over there, after we started going home on Sunday, we decided to stop by this Walmart. I'm putting this up, by the way. And so we get there, and there's just a ton of people now. Keep in mind, it is myself, my mother, sister, and her friend. And so there's all these people like just yelling, just this group of people making a bunch of racket, being real ne'er-do-wells, I guess. But, anyways, so, they're kind of just there. And we get out, and this guy stumbles over to us in Deadpool pajama pants and looks over at my sister's friend and go, "Hey, are you John Wayne?" Now, John Wayne's been dead for over 40 years, so it might be someone else. But my sister's friend, he was just like, "No." And then he opened the door for us. And so we went into the McDonald's, and he just turns right around and goes in through the second entrance. And when he's in there, he gets a drink. And he's just holding this drink, and he's spilling a bunch of it, and just sort of stumbling around. Then he goes back outside, and then there's this one guy who's like wearing jeans and like a tank top and is fairly old, and he just looks at me, and this man starts rambling. I can't even understand a thing he's saying. He's just talking, and this is what he opened up with. "Do you read the Bible?" "No." "Good." "No, hang on, let me start over." He said, "Do you read the Bible?" "No." "Good." "You shouldn't." Hang on. Okay, he had said, "Do you read the Bible?" "No." "Good. You shouldn't." And then he just kept going on. This man spoke to me for like 2 minutes straight, and eventually my mom was just like, "You know what? Come over here right now." And I had sat down, and he was still just going on, and my mom was just like, "Just don't look at him." But I couldn't not look at him. He's talking to me, and I have no idea what he's trying to tell me. But eventually he just stops and goes over to order. And now here's what's really funny. We just got back from the convention, so I'm wearing just black pants, a white dress shirt, and a pink paisley silk shirt with a bow tie. My sister is dressed as the marionette puppet from Five Nights at Freddy's. And we're just in this McDonald's looking like that. She has the face paint and everything. And so eventually this guy comes back over to us and starts talking, but this time he's not just talking to me. He's talking to my sister and her friend. And then he starts talking about the Bible again, but instead he looks at them and asks them if they read the Bible. And then he starts trying to encourage them to do it. And so I'm so confused at this point, and he's just standing there, and there's still people walking around outside. Okay, I got this closed now, but I'm still going to continue telling the story. But and so there's still these people just walking around the building. There's some kind of struggle going on. I don't know what's going on. Something's going on. Who knows, and who really cares in the end? I kind of care, but you know what I mean. And so there's just this weird stuff going on. And then eventually this guy just says, "Well, you should read the Bible. How do you think you got up this morning?" And then my sister's friend, he just says, well, at first he's like, "Do you read the Bible?" And then he was like, "No, I'm an atheist." And he's like, "Well, you should read the Bible. How do you think you got up this morning?" And he's like, "My alarm woke me up." And my sister said, "Well, actually, I didn't get up this morning. I stayed up all night." And then he looked at her and said, "Are you on drugs?" And then she was like, "No." And then our friend jokingly, just like very comically yelled, "Why are you lying?" And then he just keeps like going on. and I still have no idea half of what he's saying. It's so jumbled up. And then eventually he kind of just goes and does his own thing, I guess. Myself and my sister's friend came to the conclusion that he didn't want me reading the Bible, but he wanted them to for some reason. And so we start trying to leave. And then, like, that, this completely other person just starts talking to us while we're in the vehicle and the windows are up and everything. He just stands right by the passenger door and starts talking to us. And then the same guy from earlier who came up and asked my sister's friend if he was John Wayne started standing and talking to us too. And there's just people standing around our vehicle. And we think the employees are afraid of my sister because, like I said, she's wearing like the Five Nights at Freddy's puppet or marionette, I'm not sure which it is. I've heard people call it different things, makeup. And so they're probably giving us weird looks to begin with. And now, mind you, my sister's friend, he does not look anything like John Wayne. He is close to my height. I think he's a little taller than me, so he might be 5'9", maybe. He has short black hair with a bit of like green in it, kind of a darkish green, and he has a very thin build. In other words, he doesn't look like John Wayne, and John Wayne died like 41 years ago or something. I don't know. It's over 40 years ago. So maybe there's someone else named John Wayne. Maybe it's a local John Wayne. Maybe it's someone's nickname. Maybe that's someone's birth name. Who knows? I have no idea. And so we start leaving. And it's just a weird experience. I have no idea what else to say about it other than it was just a weird experience. I hope you enjoyed it. That's about it. And now for just like a little bit of an update of how things are going. This is completely unrelated to the story, but if you recall, around February, I was kind of sitting on a couch and I just said to myself, you know what? I'm going to hoard an unbelievable amount of fish. I'm going to collect fish from all different countries and different types of fish, just all sorts of things. Well, I've somehow managed to amass over 300 cans. I'm not sure if my mom knows about this. I know my sister knows, and I told her boyfriend, and we all had a laugh over it because this is by far the stupidest thing I've ever done. And honestly, it really doesn't matter if anyone knows. I just don't want to have to explain why, because to be honest, no one really knows I have a YouTube channel. For some reason, I'm just really particular about keeping that fact a secret. But, anyways, yeah. So now I've amassed over 300 cans, and I'm still getting more. There's still more to come. I have dedicated myself to this, and it's honestly one of the dumbest things I've ever dedicated myself to. But I will not uncommit to a bit. I'm gonna carry this through, and I'm gonna take a picture, and I don't even know how I'm gonna manage to fit all of these cans in the frame, but I will find a way. Anyways, that's about it. I enjoyed this like little rant, and I apologize for not being able to post so often. I've kind of been struggling a little bit. I'm getting better, I think, but I'm mostly just trying, and I really want to produce good content. I've been thinking about singing more. I've been wanting to sing more, and I might start doing that more. I've sang a few songs, but I haven't sang very much on this channel, but I like singing a lot in my personal time. But I can't really do much right now since I can't really get very much good quality things, and I don't have. I'd someday just love to be able to invest, and I've been thinking about getting into adult education. So maybe I can get like a college degree. Well, first I'm gonna have to get a GED, then maybe I can get a college degree in video editing and production. And I'd like to get a 2-year degree in that and a 4-year degree in speaking of Japanese. That's a language that I would really like to learn. I love listening to like music from Japan, from like around the especially from like the 50s all the way up to like the around the 90s, 50s to 90s. Like I really like listening to music of like, hang on, let me try to get this pronunciation correct. Vijayami Ichido. I might have mispronounced it a little bit. I also like listening to Ito Hisao, and I like listening to Okamoto Atsuo, and I really like the King of Comedy, whose name was, he usually went by the stage name Noken, which is Inamoto Kinichi. I think I got that correctly. I might not have. I'm trying my best. I like listening to like really traditional stuff too, like Miyagi Michio, and I also really like enjoying really early ones that like didn't gain so much popularity but still like made a huge impact, like Soto Chiyako. I might be mispronouncing it. My apologies. I'm trying, but I've always, oh, and I really like Sonishiro-sama. I actually messaged him, like I sent him a letter one time, and I've been trying to practice singing Wakayama-wari-san, and I've gotten this part a bit. Moshi moshi benjira sasayaku wo futari-san. I have to practice more, but I got that first part memorized. Moshi moshi benjira sasayaku wo futari-san. Hayaku ukeru. And what comes next? I would have to practice more. I need a lot of practice. But that's one of the things I would love to get a degree in. Because I would love to like have that be a job I have, as translation. I really like translating things. Oh! Shojitaro. Shojitaro. I like his music. I'm trying to pronounce the name correctly, but I'm not sure if I'm doing it right. And I'm sure there's more off the top of my head that I haven't remembered. I like Hayashi Isao. Hayashi. I'm trying my best. Hayashi Isao. But anyways, that's about all. I still need a lot of practice. But what's really nice is when like I could actually somewhat understand a word, like just that I remember. That's always so cool. But anyways, I'm kind of just rambling at this point. But anyways, that's about all, and there's no point of wasting anyone else's time. I kind of just like making these little videos. I don't expect them to really gain much popularity nor blow up or anything. It's mostly when I finally do start getting into the swing of things and start slowly building an audience. These could just be like little time capsules. People will usually come and stay for the content I'm making when I fully can make good high quality stuff. But this can just be like a little thing that maybe someone could stumble upon one day. Like maybe when I become a big streamer and showman type, just a variety show in general. Maybe my like 1 or 2 followers and subscribers can like just search my channel and just find these random moments. It'd be kind of neat for them. I like it when I can like find like just small stuff like this. So I imagine other people might like it too, because I really like to just get into things. But anyways, I had a lot of fun talking. Thank you for listening to my unnecessarily long video and rant about McDonald's, and then a bit of an update, and just generally spending time. There's not really much to it. I thank you all for attending, and I wish you all a good day. Bye bye, everyone.